I will not be seeking re-election to Congress. With a grateful heart, I look forward to my final year of service as your proud representative.
It was a clear black night, a clear dark moon, Granny Nancy on the street trying to pursue the American dream in San Francisco Bay. She takes her final ride in the Pride Parade. Just hit the east side, LGBT. Granny Nancy says goodbye, we're done with Pelosi. The Democrats are done, they bowed to AOC and will soon be worshiping Zoro Mamdani. You know, there are two things I agree with in Granny Nancy's emotional goodbye to her decades of public service. Number one, San Francisco is a beautiful city, or at least it used to be. You can't beat the weather in San Francisco. Damn near every day, no matter what time of year, it's between 50 and 60 degrees. It's the primary hub for the tech industry. There are plenty of high-paying jobs. But the problem with San Francisco, and this is a common problem throughout the People's Republic of California, you need a mask and multiple pairs of shoes just to walk down the street because you are constantly stepping over doodle or you're avoiding the bums that turn the sidewalk into their personal domicile. When I say doodle, I'm not talking about Roscoe's digested Purina. I'm talking about grade A toxic human dookie. This is a true story. There are literally apps in San Francisco that provide dookie alerts. Back in 2019, Forbes did extensive research on the toxic problem in the city of Rainbows. According to Forbes, there were over 132,000 reports of toxic turds on the streets of San Francisco. And that's just the turds that were reported. I'm sure you can double, maybe even triple that number if you include unreported turds. Number two, I agree with Nancy Pelosi in her decision to finally retire. Nancy Pelosi is 85 years old. She has been in Congress almost as long as Uncle Casey has been alive. Hopefully, Charles the Schumer will make his retirement announcement next. But in his defense, Chucky is still young. Compared to Nancy Pelosi and John Biden, Charlie is still in his prime at 74 years old. Although it's clearly time for these aging fossils to retire, and I'm including Republicans like Mitch McDonald in this. Poor Mitch, he's passed more involuntary gas than actual legislation these last few years. But even though it's time for the boomers to retire, the retirement of Nancy Pelosi, it further signals a clear shift in the party of the donkey. I keep telling you guys, the Democrats that we grew up with, they are extinct. The party of Kennedy, the party of Bill Clinton, that party is dead. Moderate Democrats have lost the war, and they are being replaced with radicalized maniacs who want to see the free market system in America completely dismantled. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Let's go and get to the sponsor for today's video, my good friends at Sugar Mountain Trading. My uncle called me on Monday. He's a military veteran, served in the Gulf War in the early 90s. As he's gotten older, he's been dealing with various health-related issues. Doctors had him on pain management. They had him taking all this medicine just to get him to sleep, most of which wasn't working. Once the meds wore off, he was tossing and turning all night. Plus, he was building up a tolerance. Last month, my aunt bought him some CBD lotion from Sugar Mountain Trading. She just wanted him to try it out just to see if it works. He applies the CBD lotion every night before bed, getting his best sleep in years. He doesn't even take the pain medication anymore because he doesn't need it. Recently, I gave some of the CBD lotion to my dad. My dad's been installing and repairing sprinkler systems my entire life, so he's got pain in his knees. He hates taking pills, so I gave him some of the CBD lotion from Sugar Mountain just to try it out. His knees are now pain-free, even at 74 years old. All CBD products offered at Sugar Mountain Trading 100% natural, 100% free of THC. Also, they have increased their discount code for the holidays, so click the link in the description below. Use my new promo code BTL35, BTL35. Save 35% off your first purchase with Sugar Mountain Trading. You know, my first job out of college was working for a Fortune 500 company. Like most corporations, you had multiple levels of management, which means you had multiple bosses: general manager, district manager, regional manager, national manager. It was a damn nightmare. My first 5-6 years with the company, we had the same regional manager. He was responsible for the entire Southeast region, or as he preferred to call it, the Southeast Beast. He was a tough boss, rather annoying at times, but during my final year with the company, they demoted him and replaced him with some corporate doofus. It was one of those life lessons that you learn when you're young: be careful what you wish for. We complained about our regional manager all the time. We complained about his corny emails. We complained about his motivational tactics that were lame. But when the new guy came in, he was a tyrant. Like most new managers and upper management, he wanted to make his mark. He wanted to reshape the region. He wanted to bring in lower level managers and district managers that he could trust. He wanted to bring in his guys. Within 12 or so months, the region was unrecognizable. We might have complained about our old regional manager. We might have called him an asshole, but he was our asshole. This new guy, he was someone else's asshole that we didn't want to have to deal with. Right now, that is exactly what's happening with the Democratic Party. For years, we have complained about Nancy Pelosi. We complained about Chuck Schumer. We criticized Bill Clinton. We made fun of Al Gore. Hey, it's me, Al G. Did you know cow flatulence in the Midwest has caused global temperatures to rise by 0.0001 degrees? We're on the verge of spontaneous combustion. We made fun of our former fearless leader, Johnny B. Biden. We criticized his pretend vice president, cackling Cam Harris, Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, Rachel Maddow, Jim Kimmel, Stevie Colbert. Obviously, these people are insane, but they were our maniacs. They're our assholes. Now, we are dealing with someone else's assholes. We are dealing with politicians who were raised in Somalian dumps. The dude that was running for mayor in Minneapolis, who thankfully lost to Jacob Frey, he is waving Somalian flags at American political rallies. I don't agree with Nancy Pelosi politically, but at her political rallies, I didn't have to worry about the Somalian flag being waved around. Granny might be pandering by waving the rainbow flag, but hell, at this point, I would take the rainbow flag over the Somalian flag. Whether you want to believe it or not, we are in an ideological war in this country. Not a civil war. We are in an ideological war, and the old school Democrats, they have already lost. The radical wings of the Democratic Party have united, and the moderates have essentially been pushed out of their own party. There's also a split in the Republican Party, which I don't think is coincidental. I don't think it's a coincidence that Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens lost their minds at the same time. I don't think it's a coincidence that Marge Green is suddenly appearing on CNN blaming the Trumper for the increased cost of living. Last I checked, Donald Trump's been in office for, 10 months. John Biden was in office for 4 years, which is exactly when inflation was out of control. There's definitely a split in the Republican Party, but I think those differences can be resolved. I don't doubt that Tucker Carlson loves America. Well, Casey, what about Candace Owens? I'm not a psychologist or a psychiatrist. I am nowhere near qualified to tell you what the hell's going on with Candace Owens. But Tucker and Marjorie Taylor Greene, I have no doubt that they love America. I can't say the same about the radicals that have taken over the Democratic Party. Now, according to the mainstream media, we are so back! The Democrats have united! Woohoo! Yes, yes, yes! The Democrats are not united. As is often the case with Democrats, this is simply a peeling polish on an incredibly rancid turd. It's a disguise. It's a myth. Socialist and Islamist, they do not mix. They are working together right now because they have a common enemy. You. With Nancy Pelosi retiring, with Charles Schumer likely being challenged and losing next year to AOC LGBT, with Zoro Mamdani preparing to destroy New York City while becoming the face of the Democratic Party, the moderate Democrats have essentially been kicked out of their own party. This is now the party of communism. This is now the party of Islamism. This is the party of defund the police and using that money to provide free transportation to people who don't have a damn job. Whether you want to admit it or not, this is an ideological war. If I told you 10 years ago Democrats would be the party of socialism, communism, if I told you 10, 15 years ago that there would be calls to prayer 5 times every day in an American city, you wouldn't have believed me. The Democrats have already lost. The question going forward is, will Republicans be strong enough to stand against it? Don Trump's not going to be around forever. So you tell me. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys later.